Where would I be without my mic? It's me, Derek Martin, KMA Sports Director, here today to debut a brand new feature for KMA Sports. It's called The Wednesday Word. Why the Wednesday Word? Well, number one, it's Wednesday. Number two, what I'm going to be doing here, hopefully for the next several Wednesdays, and Wednesdays this feature will live long and prosperous, I'm going to be going out, doing an interview, or having a word with KMA Land athletes, KMA Land coaches, and what have you. So that's where we came up with that. Also, coinciding with the word is that each of my interviews, each of these features, will have one word representative of the feature. So do you get it? Let's talk about today's feature, as I had an opportunity to head to East Mills High School in Malvern. Now, in our long history of sports, and really even the history of life, there's been a lot of greatness. We know Neil Armstrong stepping on the moon, Michael Jordan in basketball. But sometimes there's a little bit of a stubbornness in us as people, and it happens to everybody, where we fail to recognize the greatness that is in front of our own two eyes, the present greatness. Like, people won't even put Kobe Bryant or LeBron James into a conversation with Michael Jordan. Even back in the old days, Bill Russell, when he was dominating and winning titles with the Celtics, there were probably somebody saying, oh, George Mikan is much better than him. But we need to get past that, because if we don't recognize the greatness in front of us, it deflects away from just enjoying what we have in front of us. What we have in front of us, folks, is the all-time greatest corner conference sprinter in the history of that conference. Been around since 1959. But Nick Pittman of East Mills is the first to ever win the 100-meter dash state championship last year. He holds all the 100-meter dash and 200-meter dash records. He's won the 100 and 200 each of the last 3 years of the corner conference, including on Tuesday night when he did both, as well as taking the long jump and anchoring the 4x2. Pittman is the greatest corner conference sprinter of all time. A great, great history in that conference. They've had some great quarter milers, some great half milers, some great milers, but they've never had a better sprinter than Nick Pittman. So what we need to do today, and the word we need to focus on today, is greatness. Let's recognize that greatness of Nick Pittman, because there's only 2 more weeks left of that. And here's the interview with Nick.
We do a lot of hang clean and weightlifting. That helps with our hip strength, so we can swivel our legs a lot faster. So most of the kids in our school can hang clean 300 pounds. A bunch of kids can randomly hang clean a lot. We do a lot of squat. We do overhead squat. We do hamstring and calf squat. We just do a bunch of lifts that help our leg muscles and our hip muscles. And we do foot quickness drills, like line hops and ladder drills. And we do them in every sport that we do, so we don't just we're always fast in almost every sport.
Well, I guess go back a little bit here. When did you start running? When did track find you, or when did you find track?
I started doing track about 8th grade. I didn't do any childhood sports at all. I just did until 8th grade. I really realized I was fast when I was young, but I didn't know I was this fast compared to people in the state. But 8th grade, I was about as fast as the second fastest kid in our school. And then my freshman year, I just got a little bit faster than everyone in our school. And then sophomore year, I won 5th in state for the 100. And then last year, I won the 100 and got 2nd. We figured that we were going to get them last year, but the thing is that they're always really good at field events. And I always get 40 points in field events. So, and then they have Herrick, who's good at 400s and 800s. So we never thought that we'd have someone who was faster than Herrick in 400s. But Travis beat him yesterday, so that helped.
Adding Travis he's just really improved a lot. And, you guys had a heck of a 200 race there.
Well, at the beginning of this year, or last year, I was he was the 3rd fastest, 4th fastest kid in the conference. And this year during track practice, I was racing on Monday, and he was keeping up with me really well. He almost beat me in a few races. And we get to a certain point, after a few, he starts beating me because he has more endurance and more energy. But I just noticed that he was just as fast as me at track practice, and I was wondering if I got slower or if he got faster. And then we got to the meet, and then my times were about the same. I broke my meet record, so I figured he just got a lot faster.
What's been the biggest disappointment to you?
Getting 2nd in the 200 was really disappointing, because I was picked to be 1st place in that, and I was supposed to be in 2nd place for the 100, but it flipped around. And my 200 last year was a 21.9, so I was a lot faster in 200s than I was in the 100. It was more impressive. My 200 was more impressive. But that's a pretty big disappointment.
Now, you're a pretty unemotional guy, though. Yeah. After you won that 100, I couldn't tell if you had won or lost. Where's that come from? Were you ready to burst inside, or what was the Talk about that whole stoicness.
I was like walking to the 100. I didn't even think I was going to get like first place. I honestly thought I was going to get second. And when I got up there and won, I knew my friends and family were watching me, so I started tearing up a little bit when I was walking back. But that's about it.
You're the greatest sprinter in the history of the Corner Conference. What does that mean to you?
It means quite a bit because we've had a lot of good athletes in the Corner Conference, especially within like the last 30 years. Like in the 70s, we have a lot of fast kids from Malvern and stuff like that, and Valley. But it just means a lot to me. Yeah, it's really surprising. There's been a lot of people come through here too, so I guess I was just like meant to be, I guess. Basically looking forward to state track, and I'm looking forward to hopefully placing like in the top 3 within the team-wise at state track, and I'm looking forward to college.
What's it going to take to get it done again this year?
Well, I feel like I can beat him still, but I just need to race him one-on-one, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just going to take, like, I need to get out of the blocks fast, and that's like the secret, because if I am in first place, I feel like no one can catch me from behind.
How does the 100-meter dash champion come from Malvern?
I have no idea. I've moved here from like Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we like based on his sophomore season, he finished 5th and 6th, I think, in the 1 and 2. And so I knew coming in that if he just pushed himself and worked really hard, and we had a really good senior class that year that would help do that, that he would go above expectations. And he had a couple times in there, you're like, all right, eyes are open now, and people started looking around, and then he comes in that lane 4, and he starts, just winning the races.
What kind of influence does he have on the rest of the team? As far as I know, he's not a very outspoken kid, but as far as just showing how it's done.
Yeah, it's kind of a not do as I say, but do as I do. So they see him working hard at practice, and everyone else just falls in line. And we do some things strategy-wise, like during practice, like we have him like start at the end of the pack sometimes and see how many people he can pass during relays or not relays, during just races. Or we also do things like you're ahead, now you just got to hold people off, things of that nature.
Yes, has anybody ever said to you, or have you ever thought about the fact that he's the greatest sprinter in conference history? A conference that's been around since 1959?
I've never thought of it like that. I knew last year when he won the 100 that he was the first 100-meter dash state champion in the conference.
Yeah.
So I made a point to make sure I said that at the sports banquet the other night, so at least our fans know that we probably do have the best 100-meter dash athlete in the conference, and to make sure he gets his due there.
It's pretty special.
So.
It's such a long old conference. I mean, there's been some great runners, but nobody better than Nick.
Yeah, I'm from Hamburg, so I grew up we had 4 state championships at all of those 4 years in the 70s, and all these runners like Randy Thompson and all those names that I've had thrown at with my parents, and my uncles always throw those names at me. And I'm like, I have a guy faster than that.
Hey, Coach, thanks.